it my way. So you can go kick rocks, I'ma stack bricks up, build what I want to make.
Yo, I got a lot of shit to say, so I'ma do this every day. I'll be writing things until I'm fucking buried in my grave.
Only girls can be the mommies. Only boys can be the daddies. Yes, sir. Everybody's fancy. Everybody's fine.
All the kids under the age of 15, come on up here.
Hey, why don't you have a seat right over there?
Well, I should never have had to report this good news because it never should have happened in the first place. I talked about maybe, I feel like this is back in October, maybe 2 months ago or something like that, late October, October 23rd or 4th, where a content creator, now I titled the video YouTuber or something like that, but really it's a content creator who happens to did work for InfoWars, I believe, was sent to prison for opinions. Their opinions.
Owen Schroyer.
Let's see, one. Okay. Owen Schroyer, who worked for InfoWars. I don't know if he still does or doesn't. I'm not actually that familiar with his work. What I am familiar with is the charges in which our corrupt government levied against him for daring to say words like 1776 or something like that. They put him in jail. Just to give you a quick, this is back in September's. InfoWars host Owen Schroyer gets 2 months in prison, federal prison, and yet another case. Now, I talked about in a standalone video earlier today, and I'll talk about more on this stream about the actor that appeared in the Daily Wire's Lady Ballers movie, Mr. Massaquoi, having the FBI waiting for him at the airport after attending the Lady Ballers premiere, again, over misdemeanors. Two months in solitary confinement is basically where he spent it. 2 months in solitary confinement. By the way, all the people that were charged with this, these are all surrogates for Trump. To a deranged justice system.
11:30 tonight be good for
that is being used by the Biden administration and has been used by politicians for many years to do their bidding. They can't put Trump in prison, so they put all these J6ers in prison. And I've always said, look, if you break the law, you know, if they had legitimate reasons to charge people at the Capitol at that day, you know, people who legitimately damaged property or, you know, put hands on people, I have no problem with charging them. You know, unfortunately, they don't charge they say, for example, pro-Palestinian fiery but mostly peaceful people that were there just the other week, damaging property, pouring red paint all over the walls and things of that nature. I don't think the FBI ruined any of their lives. But I want to remind people that J6 was years ago. And our FBI is still ruining lives over it. So this was back in September. InfoWars host Owen Schroyer was sentenced on Tuesday to 2 months behind bars for joining the, quote, mob's riot at the Capitol, in which prosecutors claimed he helped create by spewing violent rhetoric and spreading baseless claims of fraud to hundreds of thousands of viewers. Let me translate that. American citizen Owen Schroyer used his First Amendment right to share opinions in which he held to be true, and we put him in federal penitentiary solitary confinement for 2 months. That is what they're really saying. Obviously, this is on PBS, which is a leftist company and organization. Owen Schroyer broke no laws that I could see. He hosted a daily show called The War Room with Owen Schroyer for the website operated by Alex Jones. Prosecutors said he used his online platform and later a megaphone. I'm not sure. I don't know the exact words. I don't know the exact words in the First Amendment, but most of us kind of know, hey, it's free speech, right? I didn't know this, but maybe there is a parenthetical part, like a parentheses at the end, that says Americans have a First Amendment right unless they say those words extra loud. Because that's what they're saying. They're saying, well, he had a show on the internet and he used a megaphone. So that somehow negates his First Amendment right. That's the case they built against this creator. And again, key fact, Owen Schroyer at no point did he enter the Capitol. 2 months in federal pound me in the rear prison in solitary confinement. And at no point did Owen Schroyer ever enter that building. The government itself admits that. At no point did Owen Schroyer enter the Capitol. 2 months in federal prison. Why? Because Trump. I can't think of any other reason. This stuff was meant to send a message. These convictions were meant to intimidate Trump supporters, intimidate Trump voters, and to say, look, we're not going to allow any of this unless you're a Democrat. You're allowed to occupy a Capitol building if you're pushing for Palestinian whatever. We know this to be true because it just happened. We saw another quote unquote insurrection that I believe happened at a Tennessee governmental building this year. Another one happened in Madison, Wisconsin. But these were communists, socialists, leftists that were occupying these buildings. So it was not called an insurrection. And we all make jokes about it, right? I'm sure I quote tweeted it saying, insurrection, ruin their lives, send the FBI to their homes. But for some reason, they only did this to people who were supporting Trump. Did you see the 2 individuals in Atlanta that burned down a Wendy's? They burned down a Wendy's in the honor of old what's-his-name.
Claiborne.
They didn't even get 1 day in jail. Not 1 day. They got not 1 day in jail. Owen Schroyer used his internet platform to say words, and he got 2 months in solitary federal prison. Well, I have some good news. He has now been granted early release. And again, that is the bittersweet part of this. He never should have been there in the first place. Jailed journalist Owen Schroyer set to be released from prison on December 8th. He was sentenced to serve 60 days for charges stemming from his presence and comments made outside the Capitol. He reported to prison on October 24th. He spent the majority of his time in solitary confinement. With Schroyer's release date set for December 8th, he will have been in prison for 45 days. Over 30 of those spent in solitary confinement. Schroyer was first placed in solitary upon his arrival at the prison for 5 days as part of the facility's COOF protocols. Days later, he was once again thrown in solitary confinement after he placed a call with a friend to post to his Twitter account, thanking his supporters for sending him letters. The stint reportedly lasts 30 days. They put him in solitary for 30 days for telling a friend to send a tweet. Now, court documents state that Schroer has allegedly completed 30 of the 32 hours of community service required by the deferment prosecution agreement, which was reached back in January 3 years ago, after he, quote, shouted in a loud manner in December 2019 at the House Judiciary Committee. I mean, you've got to be kidding me with this. I am extremely happy he's getting out a little bit early. It's really not that early since he's serving 45 out of 60 days, but I'm sure 15 days less in solitary in federal prison would be nice. Every minute you can get out of there early, probably a good thing. Probably feels like every minute, it probably feels like a year. But this is a guy that is just an internet commentator and a journalist. But because he said, I believe I looked at some of the documents, like because he said the words 1776 or something like that, he goes to prison. People saying the guards probably got tired of carrying all his mail. Is this early? Let's go. His first interview is going to break the internet. Yeah, I mean, and I just, you know, as a citizen, it's hard not to feel powerless and hopeless, right? Like this dude did nothing. He didn't break any laws. The problem was they ended up intimidating him into signing some sort of plea deal. But, you know, also, let's not pretend he probably financially broke him defending himself in court, I'm sure.
Their 10 commandments or whatnot.
So they made sure he's broke, right?
Most of them are natural
They made sure
law.
that he has no money. They put him in prison for 2 months for never stepping foot in the Capitol once. It was because he said he used his freedom of speech and he dared to do it loudly. That's why they're mad. Absolutely disgusting. I'm glad he's free. I wish him all the best, and I'm happy that he's out early, regardless of how disgusting the entire scenario was. Hey guys, the White House is warning you now that the U.S. is out of money. And we're almost out of time to avoid any kind of kneecap to Ukraine. The Biden administration on Monday sent Congress an urgent warning about the need to approve tens of billions of dollars in military and economic assistance to Ukraine, saying Kiev's war effort to defend itself from Russia's invasion may grind to a halt without more U.S. taxpayer dollars. Yeah, I don't know if you guys saw this or saw my tweet, but it was like, I forget, Saturday or Sunday morning. I kind of just throw on the local news in the morning when I'm hanging out with the puppy so I can kind of get stuff done. And the TV on, she doesn't think I left the room. She hears something now. They were still, it was Fox, local Fox, you know, because I don't pay for cable. And they were still slobbing the knob of Ukraine. And the guy's like, this U.S. government stooge was like, well, what a lot of Americans don't understand is that we actually don't send the $10 billion in aid to Ukraine directly. That stays right here in the United States. And I'm like, wait, what? So he makes the point, yeah, we use that to like produce more weapons for us, and then we give them these old weapons. I'm like, so you're still sending them. You wouldn't need to manufacture new weapons if you weren't giving Ukraine your old ones, you idiots. Like it was the most infuriating thing I'd ever read. I'm sorry, ever heard. Luckily, a puppy was in my arms, and so it didn't make me all that mad. We're out of money and nearly out of time, she wrote. Biden has sought nearly $106 billion of United States taxpayer money to send to Ukraine to defend their borders. $106 billion to defend Ukrainian borders when we won't spend $5 to defend our own. 106 billion US tax dollars. Got to defend the Ukrainian borders. Absolutely infuriating. Let's get to this Daily Wire story too. By the way, just a quick reminder for everyone. Christmas is coming. It's coming hard. It's coming fast. Coffee Brand Coffee. We sell out of our gift boxes every year. We have 2 different pre-built ones, so you can just grab it and go. But we also have our wildly popular custom gift box creator. So even if the person that needs a gift doesn't drink coffee, you can build it with our 4 real cacao cocos, 15 different organic teas, some of our premium snacks like chocolate covered espresso beans, saltwater taffy, peppermint bark, kettle corn,
or should I do it
whatever
on
you
my
want.
server?
Chocolate sunflower seed sprinkles, absolutely ridiculous.
Most of you aren't on my server.
All super delicious. Link in the description, coffeebrandcoffee.com. Promo code BESTGIFT will save you 10% too. Comes in a nice ready-to-gift box. I know you need a couple gift ideas for Christmas. So, Sayaka Massaquoi, who stars in the Daily Wire's Lady Ballers movie,
movies. He's
attended the
one
Lady Ballers premiere
Who's that?
in Nashville, Tennessee, and the FBI was waiting for him at the airport. Why?
Not.
Because of 4 misdemeanors stemming to January 6th. 4 misdemeanors. Tactical shot. No, we don't. That is a good idea, though. By the way, they've raided this guy's house. They raided his home back in 2021. They have never charged him with anything. He was raided in 2021. And this guy attends he's an actor. He was in the Lady Ballers movie. And the FBI was waiting for him and his pregnant wife at the airport when he got back, and they arrested him, and he had to spend the night in jail for misdemeanors.
Know who Topaz 0618 is?
Here's the footage, and this is why they never wanted the footage released from January 6th, because here's the footage. Here's why I was raided 2 years ago and recently arrested and charged November 30th, 2023, 3 years later.
I'm trying. The door is fucking.
Here he is right here.
I'm literally trying to move.
Not today.
It's like the bad turtle head when you gotta take a
Child Elder Convention needs to burn.
Did they get into any of the
Look how violent he is. Look how violent he is. See him doing all this stabbing and punching and kicking.
All right.
So the FBI had to go and wait at the airport 3-4 years later to arrest him in front of his pregnant wife, make him spend the night in prison or jail. Definitely not a political thing. Definitely had nothing to do with
Definitely.
it definitely had nothing to do
Definitely.
at all with the movie release and how this would get all sorts of press. Hey, baby Ruby. I'm sure it had nothing to do with that, right? I'm sure it had absolutely nothing to do with the fact that the Daily Wire's Lady Ballers movie was premiering. They could have arrested him any time in the last 3 years. In fact, they raided his house in 2021. Definitely has nothing to do with making sure as many conservative eyes were on this arrest as possible. Totally not in any way, shape, or form politically motivated, right? The FBI was just doing their jobs, arresting a man, separating him from his pregnant wife for a misdemeanor 4 years later. I absolutely believe there are good FBI agents, but the weaponization of the Department of Justice as it relates to Donald Trump and his supporters is treasonous. It's absolutely atrocious. Waiting for this guy at the airport so they could arrest him. You can even see this. Seth Dillon writes, if you've watched our Californians Move to Texas series, then you're already familiar with Sayaka. You know he's funny and talented, but he isn't just a talented actor. He's a friend, the Babylon Bee. He also happens to be a Trump supporter, and that's why he's being punished. And even Elon Musk says this has gone too far. Yeah, I'd agree with that. It has gone too far. It keeps going too far. As he was returning home from a trip to Nashville for the Daily Wire's latest premiere, the FBI was waiting to arrest him and charge him with crimes related to his presence at the Capitol on January 6th. I couldn't believe this when I heard it. This political persecution cannot be allowed to continue. Well, here's an inconvenient truth that I'm nervous about the answer. I'm nervous about the answer. At this point, the prosecution of January 6th people has become an extremely important voting issue for me. And it's like, Trump better pardon these people.
Which ones are you keeping?
Because they're the ones suffering for him. Right? I'm not saying he asked for that, but all of these people are suffering because they can't get Trump. So they're punishing all of his supporters. They're punishing anyone related to it.
Yeah.
And
Austin,
he better, I mean,
did
I
he
don't
show
think
up
he's
today?
going to be honest with you. It makes me sad.
He sent me a message. He's like, I'm going to be
I don't
late.
think
I'm
Trump
like,
has
late
Trump
to
said
where,
anything
dude?
about, these people, his supporters he's left them all out to dry.
No. Then he was, no, he did reply
this
back,
guy
but it
pardoned
didn't
rappers
even
when
relate
he
to
was
that. He's
in
like,
the White House.
is there
He
any
can
openings
pardon
on
these
second
people.
shift?
And that's like, look, that's another one of those things where like, yeah, I like Trump as president, but like, that's I hope that I have missed it. And I just hope that I really hope that he takes it seriously. I know he doesn't have the authority to do it right now, but he certainly could put out a tweet on Truth Social, right? He could put out a truth. He could put out a truth and say, hey, when I'm reelected president, not only am I going to pardon all of these J6 people that, went to prison in my name, I'm gonna get rid of every one of the prosecutors that did it, every one of these FBI people that did it. All this stuff. I don't think he's gonna. I hope he does.
Yeah.
He has said he would pardon them. I mean, a guy killed himself over it.
That's the book.
All the nonviolent. And by the way, that's what I say. Like,
Oh, the actual book.
Mark H. Don't get your undies in a bundle. What did I say? I said when he becomes president, he could absolutely tweet something out and support the January 6th people.
Yeah, that login still
Don't
works.
be one of those like
if you're still
overly
here.
emotional, sensitive Trump supporters. I voted for the guy twice. I'm going to vote for him for a third time. Don't be like that. It makes me. Wait, Jeremy, you're a lying bastard over saying that out loud. It's not your wrong. You're stating an untruth. What are you talking about? I'm confused. Why are people all angry? What am I saying that's not true? That Trump has said that he will pardon them? Okay, good. Then I hope as long as he does, then I'll be happy. Don't be so sensitive. I don't, you know, if you put out a truth randomly one way or another, you know, good. Don't get so heated at me. I perhaps missed it. And by the way, he's going to have to do it. You know, he's going to have to, I'm sure he hasn't said too much about it because he doesn't want them to tie him in. Yeah. So this guy, I mean, this guy went to jail because, you know, because he's a Trump supporter and he's not Trump. That's what they want, you know? Some days I act like I hate my audience. What are you talking about? What did I say? I'm literally saying all I want, you know, I want to make sure that these J6 people
All
are
right,
pardoned.
looks like it's going to work fine on Discord.
Nobody disagrees with that, right? It was in his Tucker interview. Okay. So, you know, I'm hoping that yeah, I want the FBI agents fired, charged. I want all that stuff. Why, you know, I do. I don't support any of this. So he's got a give some go. Looks like he's doing all right there. He's got $59,000 raised for his legal defense. You know, defending yourself in court is not cheap. You know, this guy is getting prosecuted because he supports Trump and they can't actually get Trump. And that's what I'm hoping.
They seem to be going after him pretty well.
Yeah, that's what I'm hoping.
So
I don't know if you saw this.
I'm gonna start the stream with all of them.
You know how you will own nothing and
only
be
gonna
happy?
leave up.
You guys know? Did you guys know?
Yeah, we'll
Remember how
risk
you
it
know
again,
how
right?
you'll own nothing and be happy?
We'll do it. Yeah, I'll kill Facebook, YouTube.
Well,
probably,
we've all seen the kind of
Twitter
transition to digital content for
we'll go live
you know,
with Rumble.
the transition to
Kick,
digital content for various reasons. Now,
Twitch.
look, digital content is not inherently an evil thing. I enjoy like being able to stream content. I enjoy being able to open up like Amazon. I own nothing now and it kind of sucks. Yeah. You know, I think that there are a lot of advantages to digital content. Tons of it. But that's not how it's being used. It's being used to you know, essentially create a situation where you own nothing. You only rent it. You know, I have this thing behind me, right? I have some Nintendo games up here. You probably can't see them because of the glare, but I have some Nintendo games, right? And I don't know how old they are technically, but you know, they would be probably what, freaking 40 years old, 30 years old. A lot of those games are 30 years old. I can pull out any Nintendo that still works, put the game in, and play it anytime I want, right? Now, PlayStation has announced that they have removed 1,300 seasons of shows, even if you paid for it. So even if it's content that their customers paid for, it is being removed, and they're not giving you your money back.
Paid for.
This is the you'll own nothing and be happy. Jeremy, what do you think about planned obsolescence? Well, that's been something that's been, engineered into the, the car industry and cell
Thinking
phone
I should
industry
set
and
it
basically everything.
up as soon as I.
They took
Here's the
away. So
stream.
if you had spent thousands of dollars buying like
Hey, Chopper.
all the seasons of How It's Made,
Watch
or
party
all the
tonight,
seasons
buddy.
of like the Shark Week, or what's the
personal
other show,
emergency
the
happens.
Mythbusters. I don't know generally. I have a general idea how old my viewers are, so I know like a lot of you probably remember. Like when I was younger, we couldn't afford like HBO and Showtime and all this crap, right? So I would get shows like Dexter and Carnival and Deadwood and 6 Feet Under when their DVD series were like on clearance at Best Buy on Black Friday, right? Like, that's how I saw Dexter. That's how I saw most of these shows, was because I would buy, the DVD box sets or whatever. Well, there's a newer generation of that would buy, they buy these shows digitally. Imagine if some dude, some slimeball showed up at your house. It was like, bruh, I'm going to go ahead and need those physical discs back that you bought. You know how you bought the complete, Oz? What was that prison show, Oz? You know how you bought Oz? Or you know how you bought The Wire? Yeah, it's been 7 years and the license expired on that, so we're going to need that back. And we're not giving you your money back. It should be illegal, don't you think? It seems like something like that should be 100% illegal. And now they went
Anybody
and
want a
said,
copy of?
nope, we're taking it out of your library and we're not refunding you. And you'll never get to access it again. And you can't download it locally. You'll own nothing and be happy. And by the way, excuse me. By the way, oh, the dogs are playing. By the way, agent, you said read the license agreement for your digital crap before you buy it. Yeah, you're right. They all say that. All of those, anything you buy digital, I remember, for example, when I was banned from Magic the Gathering, I had like $10,000 worth of Magic cards that I had purchased inside their software. And they banned me and said, we're not giving you your money back for those cards either. And the only way I got my money back is I filed a bunch of PayPal disputes, and PayPal sided with me. So I got like a couple $1,000s back. But anything you buy, any software, all this kind of stuff, you don't really own it. Yes, we all know that. But you would think at least if they're going to take it back, that they would, you would think legally, am I crazy? Like, don't you think legally think that they should have to give you your money back if they're going to steal their product back? Pirate Bay is going to be working overtime. Yeah, I mean, hey, I understand why. I 100% understand why people want to pirate stuff. And it's like, I wonder, is it technically illegal if you bought, let's say you bought a season of Deadwood, or you bought a season of this, that, or the other thing, okay? You bought, you bought a season of this, that, or the other thing, and they take it, and PlayStation takes it away from you, and then you go and you buy, and you go and Pirate Bay it. Do you think, have you broken a law? I mean, you own it, right? And this isn't the first time, this has happened with television shows too, but it's happened with video games. This is just a few months ago. Friday the 13th, which was a wildly popular video game, a new release of Friday the 13th, like Friday the 13th, the game or something like that, whatever the case was. Not only could you not buy it, see, the thing is they took it off the shelves, which is actually fine. I mean, you don't have to sell it in perpetuity. But buried in their announcement, it said, the time has come. Our license for Friday the 13th will expire on December 31st, 2023. I don't remember what game. Do you guys remember what year this game actually came out? I have a feeling this game came out in like, I don't know, like 2000 or something like that ish, right? So they say, okay, our license is expiring, and it will no longer be on sale both physically and digitally. So they sold physical copies of this game. Then they write, the game will, however, continue to be functional through at least December 31st, 2024. I have a Friday the 13th game behind me that is 35 years old that I could put into a Nintendo and play right now. And this is not even a digital only thing. They sold the disc. So I bought your Friday the 13th game. And by the way, you know what I think is interesting, or the question I have, okay? The question I have is, did they say this on the front? Did they say this on the copy of the game you bought? Like, you bought the game and was there a sticker on it that said, this game will self-destruct in 3 years? No. They don't say that. And you know what? If it's buried somewhere in the toss, right? If it's buried somewhere in the toss, okay, which it usually is, I think that, there should be some consumer protection on that. You don't get to just take the game back when your license expires. You have to give him my money back then. Don't you think? So they're taking the games back. They're taking the movies back that, again, people bought. People paid for these games. There should be some consumer protection for that. You don't get to just, I'm going to take your game's going to, then you have to say, well, then you should have to say, just like on a pack of cigarettes, there should be a warning that says this game will only work for 3 years. Please give us $70. This game will only work for 3 years. Have a nice day. They don't tell you that. They don't tell you the truth. When they make the game, they know that when they make the game, they know that there's a license required that will expire, but they don't tell the consumer when they buy it. And it is true. I saw someone in chat say, this isn't new. Yeah, definitely. Cold brew gift box. Yeah. We had the cold brews in the gift box, but they take up so much room that people can't put a lot of items in it then. Like, if they know that there's an expiry date on their product, then they have to tell you that. They should have to tell you that. They say that on food, right? And I know that, like, always online DRM has been a thing, but this is not that. This is the company saying, we don't want to keep paying Warner Brothers anymore for the license. So you don't get your product anymore, but we're going to keep the money you gave us. Anything that requires the internet is not going to last. And that's true. That's true for, like, that's why I lean so heavily into the retro market. King of Biltong, good afternoon from Anton's of Roanoke. Free shipping on your Biltong using code THEQ on landedbiltong.com and AntonUSA.com. Give our Biltong a go as a healthy snack food alternative. I'll tell you what, I used your Biltong Wagyu on a pizza on Saturday and tweeted it out. People said it was an abomination. I don't care. It was delicious. So here's a fun interaction. A TikToker, or I don't know, YouTuber. They do YouTube, they do TikTok, they do both. Okay. They thought that it would be cool, neat idea to go into this immigrant's pizza store and try to epically own him over misgendering somebody who looks clearly male.
I look like a girl.
So, do I look like a girl? By the way, this douchebag set a camera up to do this. This person set a camera up in the corner so he could film his interaction with this person. Jonathan, those to those saying license agreement, they don't cover everything. A company can't just put anything in it and be protected. Ask any lawyer. That's correct. 100% correct.
That's for sure, Chopper.
I do not understand. You don't? Do I look like a boy or a girl?
The biggest abomination here, other than what these shorts or whatever the hell this in a babushka or whatever they're wearing, they're drinking Gatorade with a straw. Who the hell does that?
Me.
I think you're a boy.
No, I'm a girl.
I think you're a boy. He said, nah, I'm a girl.
Okay. Okay. What do you think you look like?
Sorry.
No. Just ugly.
Okay.
Then he calls the guy ugly.
Help me out with this nice pizza. Here, you could actually have my pizza. Do you like those?
Yeah.
He's so mean I'm not eating his pizza, so you should have it.
Oh, yeah.
Fuck him. You enjoy your pizza.
Thank you.
Bye. Look at him. He's so mean.
He's not leaving. And by the way, this individual here very clearly does not speak English.
Do I look like a boy or girl? He's telling me I'm a man. Come on. It doesn't take rocket science.
Ha! The guy said you look like a man, by the way. He said, you kind of look like a man.
He thinks it's funny. Right? It doesn't take rocket science to figure it out. Thank you. Enjoy your pizza. Bye. Bye. I'm just telling you. You
Enjoy your pizza. You don't work there, you lunatic.
have to be more respectful.
He can't kick him out because he doesn't understand what the hell he's saying, I think. I think that I genuinely believe that this individual does not know what this guy's saying. That he doesn't speak a lot of English.
Yeah, you are a girl.
He said, yeah, you're a girl, okay.
To be ignorant and rude.
I am not good English.
He smiles and says, I'm not good at English. This person has no idea what this asshole is saying. And by the way, that's what this individual is. It's not whether you're a man or a woman. It's you're an asshole. That's what this individual is, an asshole.
I don't buy that for a minute. I think you speak English just fine, my love. Because you understood every other sentence we had.
Yeah, when you said pepperoni pizza, please, he knew what pepperoni pizza was. You're mad because he knew what pepperoni pizza was, but he doesn't know what your gender identity is.
Great. Okay, bye.
By the way, the chat, everybody in the chat is saying like, cringe, you're doing too much. Leave the guy alone.
Oh, on the pizza. What?
He just said, how's the pizza?
You know,
I would never eat your pizza in a million years. You're so rude. How are you going to tell me I'm a man in a purse?
Because you are.
And long hair and nails. You can't figure that out for yourself? Fucking asking, well, what are your pronouns? What do you think my fucking pronouns are? Take a fucking guess.
ass/hole. Some dude like left some war-torn country over here just trying to sell $2 a slice pizza at what appears to be the middle of the night, and some asshole comes in and does this. Hey Jeremy, this is why I was pissed when I went to buy The Sims 4 in 2015 at GameStop. I wanted a physical copy. He charged me $49.99 and handed me a code. Yeah, right. Right. You know what's, yeah, big agree. And you know what's also, yeah, one of the first times it happened when I went to the store and I bought it was a PlayStation game, I'm pretty sure. And the thing felt, it came in a case, you know? And then like, I opened the case and there was just a sticker in there with a code. I was like, oh, why did it even leave my house? What's the point? Why did I even leave my house? You're very clearly a biological man that's trying desperately to look like a woman. Now, I'll say this. At least it's not like one of these interactions like it's ma'am person where like the person is clearly not even trying. Okay, at least this person has their nails done and makeup and whatever. But I mean, you're clearly a boy, you know. Clearly a boy. By the way, they also have a video on their channel talking about child porn and sexual assault or sexual whatever. Not surprised. By the way, thanks everyone for tuning in. What a great Monday show. Usually Mondays are a little bit lighter, but there's almost 5,000 of you out there. If you're new, I stream every single weekday starting at 1 Eastern to about 3 Eastern. I'm really glad that you're here. If you're new or if you don't have a Rumble account yet, please do create a Rumble account, get involved in chat. I love seeing you all in chat. Even if we like disagree or, you know, whatever the case is, I still want you here every day. And, you know, I appreciate you. And so get involved in chat. And if you haven't yet, click that follow button. If you want to support the show, you can join The Basement, which is right here. There's a button that says The Basement. Click on that. You can join my locals. We do twice a week locals only live streams, which we did. I think we did 2 last week, at least 1 last week. And locals only content.
Hello.
It's $5, but more importantly,
What's up?
It goes to keeping the show lighter on the ads.
Down.
When I can. It also helps support the team, which is not just me. It's 2 video editors and a graphic designer. So we have 4 full-time employees that make this show go. And for $5 a month, you can join and support directly. My goal is to add 5 new members of the basement right now. If you're in a position to, don't put yourself out. If you're in a position to, please do consider
go down for a minute
clicking the
and say
basement
up
button, supporting, and then you can join the members chat, which is also going on right now in local.
now. Double check the speed dashboard.
And I'll link that. So if you're in a position, please do consider joining the basement. Order my gift box. My girlfriend's gonna be so happy. Nice. Yeah, that's the other thing you can do. You
All right,
can
well, I
go
mean,
to
it shows connected from here, so I'm gonna reload it from
coffeebrandcoffee.com,
this
build yourself
end,
a
so,
gift box.
should be up within 5 minutes.
Promo code
Let-
best
let-
gift
let-
will save
let we grab all the
10%.
new
I'm
IPs
not
and
kidding.
stuff.
We sell it every year. I know people
Yeah,
probably think
if
I'm
it
just
doesn't
trying
come
to
up, though,
sell
give me a
it.
shout.
We do. We have 2
All
pre-built
right, bye. All right, bye.
gift boxes as well as an option to customize.
No, I don't
both.
mind.
It's
I don't
literally the perfect
Yeah, bye.
gift for anyone. If they like coffee, you've got a million options. But we also have 15 organic teas, 4 real cacao cocos, including our peppermint hot cocoa, which sells out every year. Premium snacks, peppermint. We've got peppermint bark, chocolate covered espresso beans, kettle corn, chocolate. I mean, you can build the perfect gift box over at coffeebrandcoffee.com. Promo code best gift. Save today. It'd be great. It'll be great when we can build locals up enough, and then we just have locals and coffee chat. Okay, let's see here. We got lots more to talk about. Bought some s'mores and it was sold out a few days after. Yeah, we sell a lot of stuff. People think like we don't sell out. There's 73 people on the website right now. You know, like stuff goes fast.
All right.
Jeremy, we all know
We'll
that
check that in a minute.
only pizza the thing consumes is of the cheese variety. If you oh, okay, I get you. Okay. Here's a fun topic to talk about. It's the battle of culture, right? We talk about on this channel or in the daily live streams all the time. You know, Disney sucks, Warner Brothers sucks, they're pushing propaganda, they're doing this, that, and the other thing. Well, one thing I've always had to commend or wanted to commend Daily Wire on is their commitment to creating, you know, original content. You don't have to absolutely love every individual thing that they do, but they're out there creating it. They're out there adding to the culture, whether it's their movies with like Gina Carano or their most recent one, Lady Ballers, or it's their Ben Key app with the cartoons, Saturday morning cartoons. It's all great. What I always find interesting or funny, really, is how critics absolutely refuse to review any of their movies. Whether it's What is a Woman?
Why is this locking up? It says I've got a great connection.
Or, you know, it's with it. It's only an agenda, right? It's only an agenda because it's right-wing boomer comedy. Now, I thought about doing like a standard, like in-depth movie review of this movie, but I'm not very good at movie reviews. And the other thing is how do I say this? Like when I do a movie review, or when I'm thinking about movies, when I'm thinking about if a movie is good or not, or whatever the case is, or whatever, I don't really care. How do I put this? Like, it's okay if you don't like a movie. As long as you like the movie, that's a win. Does that make sense? Like, as long as you enjoyed it, that's a win. So when I talk about Lady Ballers, when I watch it, my personal opinion of the comedy, I think there are definitely some laughs. There are definitely some laughs. And it cost me nothing to watch because I'm already a Daily Wire Plus or premium subscriber. Okay. So it cost me nothing to watch. I got a few laughs out of it. It was nice. It was funny to see, Matt Walsh as like the cuckold guy or whatever. But like, if I had paid $15 or $50 to see that in the movie theater, I would have given it probably a 4 out of 10. I know that might annoy you. It might bother people that, but here's why. Because every movie review is colored by your own personal experience. I lived through the 2000 era of that comedy. I saw every one of those comedies. The American Pies, the Can't Hardly Waits, the Happy Gilmores, all this stuff, right? I've seen them all. So a lot of the jokes and the comedy, it was like very obvious, like what they were going for. I think 4 is probably like, 4 is too harsh. I'm probably giving it maybe a 5 or a 6. Okay, especially if you grade on a scale for like what it is, and especially if you look at, hey, it cost me nothing. I got some laughs out of it. I got to support like, alternative production of
networks having issues out in
movies,
which sucks.
It might even take it up like a weighted score of the movie might be a 6 or a 7 if you take all of that into account. But if I had paid $50 to go to this movie with my wife, I would have been like, But that's not what's important. I have no problem reviewing it. I have no problem talking about it, promoting it. I've done, I think, 2 videos on it, and I think people should watch it if they're paying for Daily. Would I pay for Daily Wire just for Lady Ballers? No. Would I pay for Daily Wire to get access to the other 5 or 6 movies they have plus the kids stuff? Yeah, I still think Daily Wire subscription is a good use of money. But the activists are extremely mad. Lady Ballers activists not laughing at gender-bending comedy about trans athletes. The conservative pundits at the Daily Wire predicted that their first feature-length comedy, Lady Ballers, would trigger the left, and they weren't wrong. Trans advocates sounded the alarm at the film's release approach, accusing the movie of seeking to mock trans women and girls who are fighting for the right to participate in sports as their gender. Well, it is not a right as a biological man to compete against biological women. That's not a right. That is, of course, is the point of Lady Ballers. The story of a has-been men's basketball coach who convinces the players of his former high school championship team to identify as female so they can dominate multiple women's sports. Jeremy Boring, who directed the movie and stars as a coach, dedicated the film to women who have trained their entire lives only to be beaten at their sport by a man who couldn't win at his. That's a great line. Also, big agree. I talked about earlier, and maybe, I don't know if you've seen the standalone video by now, but our current administration is trying to rewrite Title IX, which protects women in women's sports. They're trying to rewrite it so that colleges cannot bar biological men from forcing their way into biological women's locker rooms. It's a bizarre thing to see our government focusing on in between sending all of our money over to Ukraine or Israel, or letting an invasion come over our southern borders, or have literal maps of poo for cities over in the great state of California. The only thing happening in our culture more absurd and hilarious than men calling themselves women and dominating women's sports is that the speak truth to power set on the left not only won't make fun of it, they won't even acknowledge it's a joke, Mr. Boring said in a press conference. Yeah, I'd agree with that. You can see Lady Baller film gets hundreds of positive reviews despite LGBTQ backlash. The thing is, the thing that the Daily Wire understood with this film, understands with their product is it doesn't have to be a 10 out of 10. It's just people want to just, look at Godzilla Zero. People love that movie. Guess what? It's not political.
Why are they asking about
Fast and Furious movies make how much? $800, $900 million automatically now? Guess what? People know going into it that's going to be a fun ride. It's just a popcorn movie. That's a popcorn movie is a category of movies that people just enjoy, and you don't have to explain it. You tell me, hey, I liked, here we go, Paul Blart. I think Paul Blart Mall Cop is a funny movie. I know it's a 3 or 4 out of 10 as a movie critic, but I don't care. I'll get a bucket of popcorn, bucket of Beaks anytime I want, sit down and watch that movie, and I'm going to laugh. Christmas Vacation, although that is actually kind of just good. But, there's lots of movies like that. They used to call them summer action films. But you see, Lady Ballers laugh out loud comedy about men who play on women's sports teams. Is it on the nose? Yeah. Is it low-hanging fruit? Yeah. Doesn't mean it's not funny. Doesn't mean you can't enjoy it. And I think it's pretty hilarious that, not a single critic. Christian, I like Christian Toto, but he's also tied in with Daily Wire. So, of course, he was going to review that. But only one critic reviewed it and managed to give it a 1. I just love their meltdown. I love that the hypocrisy that, they're trying to whine about it being, try to whine about it pushing an agenda when that's all they want out of everything else. They want agendas for everything. Low-hanging fruit, pun intended. And every time, and I think Fandango actually blocked Matt Walsh. Rotten Tomatoes doesn't like us leaving positive reviews of Lady Ballers, so it's resorted to preventing us from submitting due to a, quote, technical glitch. So they shut down the reviews. The movie actually got review brigaded by angry LGBTQ people early on with a bunch of 1s before the movie was even out. I don't think we'll see Paul Tassi from Forbes writing about how angry LGBTQ activists review brigaded a Daily Wire movie, though. So I'm happy for their success. I'm happy for the team over at Daily Wire. I'm proud that they're creating content, not just critiquing it. That's something
That's fine. I don't know why
I understand. That is a very viable complaint about people like me who create this content. Right? All you do is complain. You don't create anything. I think that that's a very reasonable critique of even what I do. Right? So I'm glad they're out there doing it, and I'm glad the critics are coping and seething. I've got another story for you. I've got my Night at the Museum saga. Wait, NIGT, yeah, Night at the Museum saga. I think I've only seen one of those. I didn't think it was I thought it was fine. By the way, shout out to everyone. What a great show on a Monday. We're really cranking along. If you're enjoying the show and you're just watching, create that Rumble account. Get involved in chat. If you're new today in chat, say hi. I'm really proud. I really pride myself on having a fun chat. Where people can, make friends and, talk to each other and hang out and enjoy and stuff like that. Also, each day, my goal for the rest of the year will be to add 5 new members of the basement. The basement gets Ben Northman, first time from Quebec. Hey, thank you. The basement is my locals. It's a members only group where you get direct access to me and you participate with other viewers. I saw people exchanging recipes, all this kind of stuff. There's a live chat going on. And then 1 to 2 times a week, you get exclusive content, whether that's a live stream or a dedicated video. And your support for the price of a cup of coffee goes absolute miles. If you're in the position to, please do consider clicking that the basement button and then support. It's $5 a month, or you get 2 months free if you do it annual. I know it's kind of a rough time of year for that, so I understand if you're not in the spot for it. I would never keep my content from you in exchange for money, but I will add extra value. I will make myself available to people in the basement if you join. Darth Jomo, you are not new. I know you've been around. See, here's the other thing. Here's one thing that you generally won't see with other live streamers. I read the chat. I always read the chat, and you don't have to rumble rant to get my attention. I try to read the chat for everybody all the time. So you don't have to pay me money to interact. Jeremy, not new, but I do watch you on occasion. Just only watch so much. Even time. Problem already. A Mug Club. Rakela and Russell Brand. Yeah, those are all great investments for your time, too. What's going on, everyone? I've got an absolute banger of a story
Transfer portals
for
going
you.
bananas.
There is, apparently, I have found that left-wing media, in particular, like the Daily Beast, have been obsessing over what they are calling the Folgers incest commercial.
What?
Now, did you think I was going to say those words together today? I didn't. But here we are, because it is the clown world. Of course it is. So let's take a little look. The infamous Folgers incest Christmas commercial is back. I know that you heard me read that. Leave a like on the video wherever you're watching. If you are sure that you heard that correctly.
I'm saying
that's
incest.
Right. The infamous Folgers incest Christmas commercial is back. I know Folgers is out there trying to get your money for Christmas through what is clearly a very bizarre way. Here's what my company, Coffee Brand Coffee, won't do. Any of that. If you're looking for a Christmas idea, it's already December 5th. Christmas is only 20 days away, and most shipping cutoffs are only 2 weeks away.
And coffee
Brand Coffee's gift boxes sell out every single year. Promo code BESTGIFT will save you 10%. We've got 2 different pre-built options, as well as our customizable option, which is what about 60% of people do. Even if they don't drink coffee, we've got 15 organic teas. We've got 4 real cacao cocos. We've got 20 different premium candy snacks like peppermint bark, yogurt pretzels, kettle corn. You can put together the perfect gift box for any friend, family, or coworker. Nice and easy. It comes all pre-wrapped. You don't even have to. It comes in a beautiful box. It's wrapped up nice on the inside. You don't even have to wrap it. Done. Knock off a few people off your Christmas list using promo code BESTGIFT before we sell out. Link in the description, as well as you can just go to coffeebrandcoffee.com and find it pretty easy. It's my favorite time of year. I love the coziness of Christmas. I love that desire to indulge and celebrate. I even love the tinges of melancholy that creep in to the merriment. It makes the season more dynamic and human. Most of all, I love the incest. You're not familiar with the last holiday tradition? Allow me to explain. One of my absolute favorite parts of every year is when the Folgers coffee commercial, quote, coming home, resurfaces on social media. I've seen it countless times. I watch it each time when it comes across my timeline. Shocking. And each one of those times, I'm still rendered speechless, flabbergasted, and stunned by what I have watched. If you're unfamiliar, Coming Home has been airing since 2009 and ran for 3 years before being preserved on YouTube as Internet Legend.
What?
Now, I'm not going to let them... We're going to take a look at it, okay? Every left-wing media outlet loves this ad for some reason. The oral history of the infamous Folgers incest ad confirms that we, not Folgers, are the real perverts. Shocking. Shocking. Let's take a look. This is from 2009. This is a brother and a sister.
I must have the wrong house.
Sister. Oh, I missed you so much. They waited up all night for you, you know.
It's a long way from West Africa. Oh.
Wait, what? I waited up for you all night. It's a long way from West Africa. Okay. I'm not sure I see any of what they're referring to, but there's still 30 seconds left.
Real coffee.
Real coffee.
He's here.
Okay, this must be mom and
Right,
dad waking up.
From far away.
Really? Oh.
What are you doing?
You're my present this year.
What? Why is it? I don't get it. Is it because of this longing stare?
What are you doing?
You're my present this year.
Right there. Is it that? Is it that? I think. I guess. What? I mean, it's a little weird. Like brothers and sisters generally don't. It just isn't Christmas until I see these two siblings gaze seductively into each other's eyes. Can we talk about the fact that this man came from West Africa, one of the most well-known coffee producers on the planet, and somehow considers Folgers to be, quote, real coffee? It's the after. Is it the after? It's the after part. Okay, this is the extended cut. Okay. Hold on. This has got to be a joke, right?
What are you doing?
You're my present this year.
You should tell him to go back.
Okay.
Ooh.
What the?
See? I smelled it. He's back.
Ryan, you have to leave.
What? What are you guys talking about? We know what's going on here. We know you're trying to each other.
What? No.
Oh, so that's the parody, I guess. It was very, very smooth, and they look pretty close. Pretty close. You know, I would put it this way. The left's like,
Hello.
obsession with everybody. Like, if you look at this, the commercial starts with an attractive man being dropped off at a suburban house for the holidays after a presumably long time being away in, we later learn, West Africa. He smells of Folgers coffee brewing and pours a cup, then hands his sister a wrapped gift. She grins and pulls the bow off, placing it on his chest. "You're my present," she says, smiling at him with a tinge of naughtiness. He grins back flirtatiously. You at home scream in horror. Are these siblings about to frick? It is baffling that no one of Folgers caught on to the palpable eroticism of the commercial and the bizarre chemistry, bedroom chemistry between the actors. What? What? I think there's, the thing is, this is why you're all gross, okay? There's a little known fact in the commercial was based on the late scriptwriter's real experience missing his son, who at one time worked overseas with the Peace Corps. I really connected with the writer. Doug Pippin recalled the commercial as the director. He was one of those kids that outwardly curmudgeonly guys, but really at his heart was very sweet. It was all very innocent. Obviously, what's happened since is it's been real, something that nobody ever imagined. Our client's so wholesome. Okay, fine. We guess we're the bad guys all along. Yeah, this is what shipper technology, shipping culture gets. It's right here. It's this look. I get it. Like, wait, I think she bites her lip a little bit. Wait, right there. No, wait. Yeah. Wait, no, this one? Wait.
You're my present this year.
It's just a little, like, I get it. I'm not, like, such a curmudgeon that I won't allow for humor. And, like, I think some people said that this character is supposed to only be 5 years old. Like, so, like, that's probably part of it. You see, this commercial makes so much sense when you find out the sister character was written to be like a 5-year-old. My favorite part is when she so explicitly states her role in the commercial to the audience. Sister, I am the sister. We are related to each other.
Keeps calling me.
GQ did an article about this commercial. Some of the highlights. The commercial was inspired by a respected writer who had a son out of the country in the Peace Corps, coming home from Christmas, no daughter. The casting director was told to find a non-union talent, so neither had previous experience. The sister is in the commercials with a daughter of Jeffrey Combs, a frequent actor on many Star Trek series. She's mostly devotes her time to Broadway, blah, blah, blah. The brother, even after they filmed it, everyone involved saw they only saw a sweet and sincere family moment, not incest. The internet just blew it up. The age gap between them is 11 years. The actress looks older and was initially targeted 13-year-olds. She was 19 when this was filmed and won the role over 200 other actresses. Yeah, I think this is just people's brain rot. I think this is just people's like Coomer brain. Do I say that right? Coomer brain? That's what this really seems like to me. Like, people just ruin everything with this stuff. I don't think there's anything wrong with this commercial. The only thing wrong with it would be buying Folgers instead of delicious coffee brand coffee.com. I'm telling you, there's only like another week or so to make sure you get everything on time. I bought locally from Amazon. Things are already taking a week to get here, so make sure you get your Christmas list done. Coffeebrandcoffee.com, promo code BESTGIFT, save 10% on those gift boxes. Get it before we sell out.
The second one.
Yeah, Coombrain. Yeah, I mean, I get like the joke. But I guess if you watch too much incest porn, that's probably what you think. Right? I think that's a big part of it. You have a bunch of people that watch too much damn pornography and and then they think everything's porn. Did you guys see that Juicy Sommelier is going back to prison? Going back to prison, gonna get pounded in the booty hole. Well, I think that he's actually into that. But yeah, Juicy Sommelier is going back to prison, gonna eat a lot of.
Nope.
He's going back to prison and eat a lot of peaches, I guess.
Or their stepbrothers.
150 days in prison. Christmas in the Clink. That's right. Yep, get that ham wallet, the prison wallet filled up. Maybe he'll learn how to make some sweet spreads. You know? Got another story for you. Big tech, as we've seen, has been collapsing on itself over the past year or so, because most of these gigantic, super huge mega corporations like Facebook, Google, Instagram, which is part of Facebook, and now Spotify, we're just getting fat off all of us US and, well, really Western customers due to the lockdowns. If you look back at even, for example, Disney Plus, it reached like an all-time high for usership, and the stock was at an all-time high when we were all locked down. I always say it was awfully convenient that Disney Plus launched like the same week that the entire world locked down. It's almost like Disney knew. Now, I'm not like Obama, or, political people like Obama or Meghan Markle, that grifter from the UK that I don't know. I don't know who the heck cares about Meghan Markle. Never heard of her. I mean, don't care what she has to say. She's some like Z-list actress. But for some reason, for some reason, all these companies are now collapsing and having massive firings. We saw earlier this year, Facebook laying off something like 14,000 employees, if I remember correctly. Layoff back in October of 2023. Facebook had a massive layoff. We've seen layoffs at Google. Facebook laid off 10,000 jobs this year and also closed 5,000 job openings. So a switch of 15,000 people. Now, Spotify will be slashing 17% of its workforce.
Damn.
That's like 1,500 people. In
Why do they have that many
second
people at
round of
Spotify?
cuts this year. I think it might be the third round, if I remember correctly. Yeah, maybe Joe Rogan should come over to Rumble. After a series of high-profile investments, including Joe Rogan, Call Her Daddy, and Harry and Meghan, costing more than $300 million. Spotify has become the latest tech giant to announce major layoffs, with the streaming giant CEO Daniel Ek announcing that 1,500 staff are being cut due to growth slowing dramatically following years of heavy investment in podcasting. Are we seeing the end of the podcast craze? That's difficult to say. I don't know if we could say that, unequivocally. Podcasts are still very, very popular. But what we do know is that a lot of these companies were way over investing in them. There was that ad agency, I forget exactly what they were called, that like owed Theo Vaughn hundreds of thousands of dollars. And what's that Gringo Poppy guy? They owed him all sorts of money because they were throwing out all these minimum guarantees, and then nobody watched. You look at a lot of these shows, they're utter just brain rot garbage. The $20 million, I think it was $20 or $30 million they paid for Call Her Daddy could not have possibly paid off. It just couldn't have. He writes, I recognize this will impact a number of individuals who have made valuable contributions. To be blunt, many smart, talented, hardworking people will be fired. According to the Financial Times, Spotify execs have been trying to cut costs since the company's expensive push into podcasting, which tried investors' patience. Since 2018, the company spent over $300 million securing rights to podcasts by creators such as Joe Rogan and Bill Simmons, not to mention the infamous deal Spotify struck with Harry and Meghan in 2020 for $20 million. And they never even produced an episode. They never really even produced an episode. I think maybe they did one. $20 million to hear Meghan Markle talk about how the only reason everyone gives a damn about her is because that balding ginger guy is slinging it to her every once in a while. That's the only interesting thing Meghan Markle has to talk about is that ginger guy's hairline, and like that's maybe about it. In July, Harry and Meghan announced that they had parted way from Spotify after they signed a $20 million exclusive deal. The ending came of the deal just a year after the debut of the show Archetypes, which boasted Serena Williams as the first guest. Spotify's head of podcast, Bill Simmons, who sold his Ringer network to the company in 2020 for $200 million, blasted Harry and Meghan, calling them grifters for walking away in the deal. I wish I had been involved in the Meghan and Harry leave Spotify negotiation. The effing grifters, that's the podcast. I would have launched with them. I have to get drunk one night and tell the story of the Zoom I had with Harry to try and tell him, help him with the podcast idea. It's one of my best stories. F them, the grifters. In January, Spotify said that it would be combining podcast networks with Paracast and Gimlet to its Spotify Studios operation. Other major investments saw the company buy podcasts such as the Joe Rogan Experience, which created controversy as many artists such as Neil Young demanded their music be removed from the platform because Joe Rogan thought for himself.
I got a couple more here at this
Daniel
building.
Eck was forced into a defensive mode when the video emerged of Rogan repeatedly
I've only
using
got
the
5
N-word.
people here anyway.
The CEO said in a message to staff
two
that
or three
Rogan's
of them are
racist
gonna go.
language was
So,
incredibly
for the most
hurtful,
part, most of them are
and
done,
that the
yeah.
host was behind the removal of dozens of episodes of the Joe Rogan Experience. I remember when Joe Rogan said, I think Joe Rogan is, definitely a net positive. Right? He's definitely a net positive, especially when it comes to like sanity. I don't necessarily agree with every little thing he says and does, but he's generally a net positive. I think that
we'll
he
be doing
hid
a watch
behind
party
all those
tonight
episodes
for,
getting removed.
Jones Plantation.
He acted like,
If anyone's interested.
Spotify's not going to censor me, but we're not going to bring over, I think it was something like 40 or 50 episodes, all controversial figures. Sargon of Akkad, Milo Yiannopoulos, Alex Jones, Gavin McInnes, all these people, their episodes were not brought to Spotify. It's my prediction that Joe Rogan will likely leave Spotify. I think it's been limiting for him. I don't think his show is growing nearly as fast as it would have grown if it were on YouTube. It's just true. I think that, if you're like me, when he moved over there, I'm like, I'm not getting a Spotify account. So I just don't watch Joe Rogan anymore. I used to watch all the the clips and sometimes the full episodes if it was somebody I really cared about, like maybe Elon or something like that, when they're on YouTube. But I had no interest in downloading Spotify and signing up to Spotify. I know a lot of people obviously did, but I just didn't. And I think that it probably has slowed his growth because I never see his clips on YouTube anymore. YouTube has been aggressively pushing into the podcast scene, so I could absolutely see YouTube make a play to try and bring bring Rogan in. Rumble famously offered Joe Rogan a $200 million deal to come to Rumble. I think that would be, an incredible boom for the platform. I don't think he will, but maybe. One thing I can say is that Rumble won't make Joe Rogan delete episodes. Rumble wouldn't, be censoring what kind of guests he have on.
We'll see how
Obviously, as somebody who
Rumble
streams
is
the Rumble
tonight.
Monday
We
through
play,
Friday at 1
Jones
Eastern,
Plantation
you should definitely go
on
to
our watch party.
rumble.com, follow the quartering, at least tune into my live show. It's different than my, standalone videos. But as somebody who, has tied their boat or tied their, anchored them, not anchored, that's a negative term, but has like hitched their wagon to Rumble, I think that would be absolutely amazing. I don't think that's ever going to happen, but you never know. In the third quarter, the company swung to a profit aided by price hikes That's what everyone's doing right now. You know, you have Disney Plus, Netflix, Hulu. Everybody's raising their prices. And by the way, at a time when people have never had less expendable income. I mean, well, no, that's not true, but you know, it's been very tight recently, you know. Excuse me. And so you can only keep raising prices so often. You can only keep this strategy so often. You see, by most metrics, we've been more productive but less efficient. We need to be both. I realize that for many, a reduction of this size will feel surprisingly large given the positive earnings report and our performance. We debated making smaller reductions through 2024 and 2025. Hey, they're doing what I recommend. Cut once, cut deep. And, you know, these companies, what happens is they get huge and they turn into these adult daycares. I mean, Elon famously let go of what, 70% of the staff? Like 70% of the staff that 70% of the staff that Twitter had, and like for the most part, Twitter hasn't changed. These companies all, you know, all brought in all these like woke weirdos and all this stuff. And by the way, I'm telling you, that's who got fired. That's who got canned. They didn't. You think they fired the engineers?
Which is gas.
No. You think they fired the audio people? No. Do you think they fired the people that manage their website or their APIs or their business relationships? No. They fired the woke weirdos that you know, were boycotting their own company. That's who got fired. Like there's no question in my mind that's who got canned. So, you know what? Good riddance to bad rubbish. I always knew these people were going to go. And I'm telling you, their cuts are going to keep coming. YouTube's going to cut. You know, all these big tech firms that got fat over the last 5 years suddenly have to lay off all these people. When you talk about Facebook firing 15,000 people, that's absolutely insane. This has been essentially a woke backfire of hiring these woke idiots. Who the hell wants to listen to Meghan Markle? Not me. So there's your Spotify news. Yeah, that was an ATV. All right, well, there was a lot going on today, and there's even a couple topics I missed. If you're one of the 5,000 people out there right now, I'll be live again in 22 hours. And before you leave, just 2 quick reminders. Head on over to coffeebrandcoffee.com. Get your Christmas gift boxes right now. Promo code BESTGIFT. Get your gift box. Handle that. I have we have a goal. I'd like to see if we can find 5 people to join to support the channel. Right now, we've had 2 signups, so we need 3 more. It's $5 a month. You get direct access to me. You can talk. You know, I hang out in there. It's a private group. But you also support us and the work we do directly. It's $5 a month. You can click this join the basement button right here, or just the basement. Join and continue the conversation with everybody in chat over on Locals. So if you want to, have a spot to kick it with everybody when the show's not on or in downtimes, that's where you do it, is in Locals. And so I have it set to the lowest price, I think, $5. And I hope that you'll join, because I would love to see more people get in there. It really, really goes a long way. Ricky says, Chris needs to offer Rogan and Carlson massive stock options to join Rumble at like 75 million each at $5 a share and 25 mil down. I mean, that would be great. I mean, if you imagine Tucker and Rogan coming to Local or to Rumble, that would be great. We'll be back live again tomorrow in 22 hours. We've got, look at all these topics I didn't even get to today. So tomorrow we're going to continue that also with all the all new latest news too. So thanks everyone for tuning in. I freaking love you. And we'll see you tomorrow in 22 hours.
Jeez. Why is this not working? Hours too. Where is
and then we went over to the fence like with flashlights, and we found some hair in the fence. It was like a chain link fence, and we sent it to a lab, right? And the lab said it was unknown DNA. It was like no other animal that we know of in the whole world, you know? And they said it was most closely related to a chimpanzee. But it wasn't a chimpanzee, but that was just like its closest, like, you know, DNA relative or whatever.
all right.
Maybe. Yes, I'm not sure. There you go, and you wonder why your mail's late. Oh, back to work. Oh, look at that. How long before I came over here were you guys shooting? Before I came over here with the camera?
Literally as you showed up, I guess.
I don't like to be filmed.
You're on recording here, man. There's recording.
I know, but by a private citizen.
A private? What's a private citizen?
We have a person that's filming that has a shiny badge on the front of him. He's misrepresenting a police officer, I think.
Okay.
And I don't know if he's looking for YouTube clicks.
You're not allowed back here, sir.
Sorry?
This is postal employees only.
Where's that?
The sign says it right here. Postal
It says parking.
Unfortunately, he's allowed to be here.
Don't say unfortunately, Jablowski.
Party has now moved to the back of the building to the loading dock area and is harassing employees there.
Is it posted no trespass or anything? No, it says postal parking only.
There you go. You guys already screwed up, so it's all right. That's why I'm still back here. This looks like camo, huh?
Well.
Wow. So you don't know what the signs say out back. You don't know what I'm wearing.
Postal parking only.
Do you even know where you are? Right? What's going on, everyone? This is Press NH Now over here today at the United States Post Office in Belchertown, Massachusetts for our First Amendment audit. Please make sure you like, share, and subscribe to my channel at Press NH Now. I appreciate all your support. Also, check out my playlist to see some videos you might not have seen in the past. Hit that like button, let all your friends and family know about my activism in and around the New England states. Always check the description. All links will be included. Donations are greatly appreciated. They do help me continue my activism in and around the New England area. We're going to get right to it here, guys. Look at Poster 7 and get a stamp. Enjoy the video.
Weekend was good. Spent some
let's go inside.
time with my son yesterday. And
we'll
it was good.
Get a stamp. Look at Poster 7.
It was real good for Michigan and the Detroit Lions. Michigan's #1 now.
So here you have Poster 7. Photographs for news, advertisement, and commercial purposes.
What you looking for?
Anything in particular? I don't know. Just looking around.
What you filming?
Just kind of doing my thing, man. I don't know. What are you doing here?
I'm the postmaster.
Nice, nice, cool.
What's your job?
What do you mean?
What's that?
Oh, yeah.
Just a shiny badge.
Yeah, it's just, yeah, it doesn't grant extra rights.
Are you
know?
gonna make a mystery shopper or something?
Maybe.
Oh.
Yeah, I'm not sure. Not sure yet.
Just never had a mystery shopper film everything. That's all.
Yeah, maybe. I don't know. Mystery shopper. Hey,
Hi.
are you working the desk?
Yeah, what can I?
Just wondering if I can get a stamp.
Just one stamp? Yeah. Does
Yeah,
it matter what it looks
I
like?
have a 1 penny stamp. I just need, please. Good to see you have a name tag on there, Courtney.
Yes. Well, I am required to wear one.
Yeah, you'd be surprised how many times I see that postal employees are not wearing them.
How do they pass their secret shop?
I don't even know what a secret shop is.
It's just the person that comes in and they have to like they score you on how you do
Well,
as like.
I think
first
they'd be a little bit.
transaction.
Yeah, I think they'd be a little bit more or less.
That's a survey if you'd
Yep.
like to take it at the bottom.
Yeah, I think that they'd be like a less, open. You know what I mean? To recording and stuff. I mean, I don't think that they would do it out in the open. You know what I mean? Yeah.
Yeah, because they come in and then they just score us and what's going on, and then like we get an email.
Yeah, I'm not a secret shopper. Yeah. Nope.
Well, have a lovely day.
You too.
I'm gonna
Thank
finish
you.
Putting up the mail.
Yeah, of course. Secret shopper, huh? Guess it's that time of year.
This needs to go out ASAP. I'll use my truck Saturday.
He's waiting for him to look up. I just
Well, it's
called
not
him.
gonna go out until
Whatever you do, don't.
whatever it is needs to go out. Yep. Thank you, Bruce.
You don't do that.
They think I'm a mystery shopper.
Are you recording people?
I'm taking pictures and recording you.
Do I have to be in it?
You don't.
Yeah, I'd rather not.
I'm not gonna stop what I'm doing, ma'am.
Oh, you're part of a police? Okay.
Oh no, I'm not part of the police.
So he's part of the post office doing something for you?
Just continue with your business, ma'am, please.
It's weird. It's my privacy. I don't like it.
Like your rights.
It's,
What amendment would that be? I'm just curious. What rights of privacy do you think you
I
expect?
just don't like to be filmed.
You're on recording here, ma'am. There's
I
recording.
know, but by a private citizen.
What's a private citizen? I'm a private citizen too.
Why are you doing this?
Because I have a right to do it.
Yeah, but
And I'm an investigative journalist and I'm working right now. And you're interfering with that. Yeah. There's no privacy in public. You can expect to be in private.
Well, I hope you do a wonderful thing on the post office. This is a great post office.
Well, I appreciate that. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Interesting. She thought I was a police officer. There you go, and you wonder why your mail's late. Oh, back to work. Oh, look at that. Oh. All of a sudden you're busy, huh? Look how fast they're moving. Jeez.
Yeah. And then if you go off to book another route, you're just going to go on to the menu and you're going to change. And then you should be all set.
60 cents.
Okay. But you're still going to do
That's why when I do buy them, I buy forever stamps.
even if you're just helping.
Because I don't use that many. I literally bought stamps a year and a half ago. I still have.
I have a question.
They were.
How long before I came over here were you guys shooting? Before
21,
I came
2
over here
years
with the
ago.
camera.
Literally as you showed up, I guess. I don't
Oh,
know.
really? Because it was funny. As soon as I came over here with the camera, you guys started working again. That's-
I can't really comment on anything right now because
Really?
I'm not a.
Oh. Interesting.
That's two. Is that 2 books? Weird.
How you doing, sir?
All right.
I got a question for you.
I can't answer questions. Sorry.
I could ask you though, and you probably should answer me. So how long before I came over here, you were shooting? For?
Just came out.
You just came out.
Yeah.
Okay. So why is it as soon as I came over here with the camera, you started working again?
I've been
working the whole time.
I didn't see that happening. I saw you shoot over there. Is that why our mail's always late, or?
You're not allowed back here, sir.
Sorry?
This is postal employees only.
Where's that?
The sign says it right here. Postal
It says parking.
Yeah, but this is only for postal employees only.
Yeah, but I'm questioning one of
It
your.
doesn't matter. You have to ask me before you can question anything. You're here to talk to the inspection service.
Okay, so I have a complaint because I just saw two of them shooting the shit over here before I came over here with the camera.
Yeah, but you're not allowed over here, sir.
What states
Sir,
that?
you're not allowed over here. This is postal employees only.
It doesn't say that anywhere, and there's
It
no
does.
signs of gates. No, it doesn't. It says parking, and I'm not parked.
Postal
Yeah.
employees only, sir.
It says parking only.
But you listen. We let you
It
do
says
your thing.
parking only.
Okay.
What's your name anyway? Can I have your name since you're a postmaster?
I don't have to give that to you
Oh, why the fuck would I answer any questions of yours then?
because you're on postal.
Yeah,
you're on
which is
postal
public property.
This is not public
This is-
property. Here, back here. You can do what you want.
You
over
should
here.
probably put some no trespassing signs on because this is postal property, which is public property, and the signs
Sir,
state
I'm asking
otherwise.
you to leave, and you can
Are
do
you?
your YouTube
I'm not gonna
thing
leave.
and
I'm not
everything
leaving.
else,
No,
okay?
because I'm catching your employees not working over here, and it seems like you don't have a problem with it.
Why are you yelling at me?
Because I'm talking over you. I'm trying to speak, and you're not
on
letting
postal
me.
property. This is postal employees only.
Okay, well. And what are you gonna do about it? Absolutely nothing. Why don't you get your employees to work instead of at me? Absolutely no signs except for postal parking employees only. It's funny, I catch you guys in some bullshit not working, all of a sudden he's got a problem with me, but not you. That's funny.
Police Department report line. Hey, this is good morning. This is Jim Tiz on the postmaster.
Feel better?
We have a person that's filming that has a shiny badge on the front of him. He's misrepresenting a police officer, I think.
Okay.
And I don't know if he's looking
Just
for you.
let me know when you started. And stuff. You started what, last Monday?
Right. But he went around back to where I'm holding it.
Yeah, I'll have that for
He's
you.
trying to ask questions to my employees. I asked him to leave. He won't leave.
Is he inside the building or outside?
He was outside the building, but he was working on the
yeah, if you want to bring it by,
he was
I'll fill it
harassing
out.
my employees.
Okay.
You know, we didn't
Is
engage
the
him,
sun-
he engaged my employees.
What does he
What is the
look like?
name of the place? Sun
He's
Homes or
got
something like
he's
that?
got a winter knit hat on. He's got a postal shiny badge right on the front.
Yep.
Looks like he's
That's
kind of
what I'm
in
up
like
for.
camouflage gear.
Okay.
But he's filming. He's looking for questions. He's got a camera. You know, we let him do his thing. We had his amendment rights. But then he started harassing
They'll
my
scale it
employees.
according to you.
But he's not allowed to do.
So is he white, black? White. Okay. And you have
Not after one day work.
I would say anywhere from 25 to 35.
Okay.
As long as they feel better, that's all that matters.
I asked him, he gave me attitude. He goes, I go, you're in postal. I go, this is for postal employees only. There's nothing that says that.
Right.
But he's in our workspace on the dock doing it. But you know what? He was also he was in the front. He was filming. I let him do his thing because that's public space. But he's harassed. He initiated the harassment of my employees. After why aren't you working?
Right.
Can't be doing that either.
Okay. Can I get a callback number for you? Right.
Yeah, no, you can have any. Everyone knows me down there anyways. But if any officer wants to talk to me first before they engage with him, that's fine.
Okay. All right. I'll get somebody up there. Okay.
Thank you.
Yep.
Bye.
Oh, let's go see that sign again.
Liar.
You should be working without the camera on you. No? Postal vehicles only. Postal vehicles only. It's the only sign. No fence, gates, and the only sign there is postal vehicles only. It's fair game. Put up signs if you don't like it. And if you don't like it, it seems like you just allow your employees to just shoot the instead of actually working. And as soon as I come over here with the camera, they start working like busy little bees. Yeah, that sign over there doesn't say anything about employees only, so.
It says postal vehicles only.
Yeah, I'm not a vehicle, am I?
There's no reason to be sarcastic.
I'm being lied to. I give the same respect that I understand that. I'm not interfering with them. But the funny thing is as soon as I came over here, right, there's 2 people over there shooting the and all of a sudden I came over here, right, with the camera, and they started working again. That blows my mind.
But they could be talking about work stuff.
No, they weren't talking about work stuff.
And
No.
you have nothing better to do than this.
Well, it's curious to see why our mail's so late all the time and missing. Maybe it's for shit like that. Maybe you should be more worried about that than me out here recording. You know what I mean?
Mail's not guaranteed at a certain time.
I get that, but maybe that type in work ethic isn't helping it, isn't it?
Maybe you should get a job with the post office.
Yeah, I don't think so. Yeah. Yeah. Yo, that's real professional, huh? Look at that. Postal conduct, huh? Go f yourself, buddy. Yeah, I know. Don't say anything to him, right? It's more power to him, but hey, f you, right? Hey, f you too, buddy.
Response 35 Main Street, Belchtown Post Office. One caller saying that they were being recorded by somebody in the lobby of the post office, and then received a call from the postmaster stating that there was a white male, 25 to 35, with some sort of shiny badge on the front and possibly camo gear. They say they allowed the party to record in the lobby as a public space, but the party has now moved to the back of the building to the loading dock area and is harassing employees there.
Interesting. More lies over the radio. Interesting. I hear him coming. Yeah. You're doing a good job, buddy. Hey, well, I heard the call, so I'm not worried about it. I know they're coming. Harassing employees, huh? I have a right to tell you guys to get back to work. And one of your guys just flipped me off, which is fine. I don't really care, but it's not very professional. And you're worried about me and a camera, dude? You.
Alright, so.
There we go.
Yeah. One of the reasons. Yeah, always sucks when I see that I'm getting an Amazon delivery through the postal service.
I never see that.
Morning.
Morning.
How you doing?
Good, yeah?
Good, thanks.
Seems to be the problem.
I just got a call here for somebody filming.
Yeah, I heard it.
Okay.
I got the radio on me.
Yeah.
What's your name, badge number?
Officer Glonsky, 183.
Awesome. Thank you. Are you audio and video recording?
No, I'm not.
Okay.
No, no body cams.
Not yet, huh?
They're coming.
Are they really?
Yeah.
How do you feel about that?
I like them.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Good. It's transparency, right?
Absolutely.
Yeah. And no, I'm not wearing camo.
What's that?
I'm not wearing camo.
Gotcha.
Looks like he's kind of in like camouflage gear.
It's a bunch of lies on that one, man.
Yeah, any of the other
Bunch of lies on that call. They thought it was a secret shopper.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and then they sell the badge, but it's not a police badge.
Yeah.
It says shiny badges don't grant extra rights.
Good morning.
Yeah.
My postmaster is on the
Okay.
Yeah, postmaster. Just gonna sneak by you here. Do you have jurisdiction here? I think you do.
Good, how are you? Good. You want to step in?
What's that?
You want to step in?
Why, you don't want to be transparent?
No, what's going on?
He was back. I had no problem with him here.
Yeah.
You know, he's allowed to do that.
Yeah.
But he started talking or harassing my employees in the back when they're working.
Harassing, huh? It's funny, they weren't working.
I'm not talking to you, sir.
Yeah, well.
In the building or outside the building?
It was outside the building where it's a work area only.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because it says work area only.
Is it posted no trespass or anything?
No,
like
it
that?
says postal parking only.
Right.
There you go.
I mean, I can't.
There you go. I told you that, didn't I?
So,
Yeah, fair game, buddy.
unfortunately he's allowed to be here.
Yeah,
Don't say
I understand
unfortunately.
that.
Don't say unfortunately, Jablowski. Don't
What's
say,
that?
it's not unfortunate that I
Well,
could
it's
be here.
unfortunate that I can't help him out.
It's unfortunate that you are here
True. So
and that they wasted
The
your
only
time.
thing that threw me off, he had a badge
Yeah.
that he had on his collar.
Uh-huh.
That looks like he took off. I can't tell if he took it off.
it's
No, he
there.
still has it.
Yeah, I still
So
have
that's
it.
just a misrepresentation, I thought.
Of what?
Is that what he had on before? Because it got reported as camo.
That's what it looked like to me at first.
Looks like he's kind of in like camouflage gear.
This looks like camo, huh?
Well,
Wow. So you don't know what the signs say out back. You don't know what I'm wearing.
Postal parking only.
Do you even know where you are right now?
I do. I know my job.
Do you know your employees aren't even working out back and that I told them to get back to work? You should be more worried about that than me.
Okay.
So like I said, it's not posted, no trespass or anything like that.
Yeah.
So pretty much fair game anyway.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Have a good day.
You too.
Well, what was your name, Postmaster?
I don't figure that out.
Yeah. You should, though. It's professional. Thank you, man. I appreciate it. Hey, real quick. So I'm not here to like harass anybody, man. I just want to let you know, right?
No, it's understandable.
My purpose, right? I literally went back there,
Yeah.
right, on the sidewalk out back.
Yep.
And it doesn't say anything trespassing, no signs, no gates, no fences.
Right.
And as soon as I came around the corner, right, the two guys were there, were shooting. They were shooting. They weren't working. They were just standing there. They weren't talking about work. They were just standing there, not putting mail in their van, right? And then we wonder why our mail is always late or missing.
Right.
Right? And that is exactly why. It's because they're always out there shooting. So I told him that, and he had a problem with me being out there rather than them getting back to work.
Right.
It's like, come on, man. Don't, you know what I mean? Like,
No, I get it.
why don't you understand the reason why I'm even here now that I have an issue?
Yeah.
And why don't you listen to that first rather than just jump into the gun, right? No pun
People see
intended.
that- People see that, they get all nervous, and you know what I
They
mean?
were fine. They were fine here. There was a young lady, I think she called too. She was like, oh, privacy in public and everything else. So I explained it to her as respectful as I could, you know?
Right, right.
And I don't know what her deal was when she left, but, you know, I went out back and I saw them shoot.
Yeah.
And I'm like, dude, get back to work. And then one of them flipped me off. So it's like, you know, it's all rude employees, man, just not working.
No, I get it.
You know, so like, and I really appreciate
bet
you,
you he tried
you
to
know,
upload
respecting
it.
what I'm
Yeah,
doing here.
What do you have,
He gave
YouTuber
for that.
channel?
Yeah, I got a YouTube channel, yeah.
What is it?
It's Press NH now.
Press NH?
Now.
No.
Yeah. Yeah, I'll give you the
Card or
channel,
anything
man.
or no?
I don't know. Do you have a card?
I do.
Do you really?
Yeah.
You want some good feedback or what?
Press NH. Well, I mean, I try to give good feedback every call I go to. Like,
Well, no, I'm saying for like
know
my
what I mean?
followers because they like to see good policing, man.
yeah.
You know, because you could only imagine how these always turn out. Sometimes they turn out
get
in me
it.
in cuffs. All right, and it's not always the right thing to do. You know what I mean?
No, I get it. I get it.
I've been arrested on postal property and I've won that case, man.
It's all federal.
It's federal, and that's another thing, right? I mean, do you even know? Do you know about Poster 7?
About what?
Poster 7?
No, I'd have to familiarize myself.
Yeah,
with
so
it.
Poster 7 literally states that we can, you know, video record in, you know, postal property for news purposes and so forth. There are restrictions, obviously, right? Like restricted areas, which it states. But that's quite obvious. You know what I mean?
Right. They have to be marked off as well.
That's what I was trying to tell him, you know, and now I'm afraid that he's going to mark him off, and his, you know, I could still stand over here, I mean, and watch his employees. But I'm not there to stop them from working, man. If anything, I don't want them to stop working. You know what I mean?
Yeah, no, I get it.
It's like, and he just flipped the whole script on me, and it's just like, oh yeah, no, he's harassing him, making him stop working. I'm like, no, dude, that's not even what I'm doing.
Yeah.
You know, so yeah, I think my guys, I think my followers will give you a lot of good feedback, man. Really.
Okay.
The only thing I had an issue with, which is not a big deal, is the unfortunate thing, man. It's not unfortunate that I could be here. I have a right to be here.
No, I understand that.
You know, and it may have been a little trip up on your words. I get it, but you know, you fixed that, man. So I really appreciate it.
Okay.
How long you been on the force?
I've been here since like 2011.
11.
Yeah.
Nice. You a sergeant? You're not a sergeant?
No, just regular.
You working on it or what?
See if it's in the future.
Yeah, I think we need more guys like you, man.
See what happens.
Yeah, we need more guys like you on the rank like that, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah, so.
All right.
All right,
Well,
I'm
thank
all
you.
set, man.
Okay, have a good day.
You too. Thank you. Be safe, all right?
Thank you. You as well.
Of course. So that's Michael Jablonski, patrol officer for Belchertown Police Department.
Fire clear.
And he's clearing out.
You too.
Hey, Courtney.
What's up?
How are you?
Good.
Good. Can I get another penny stamp, please? And can I get your postmaster's
Yeah, I did.
information, please,
Did
so I
do
can
it.
file complaints?
His information.
Yeah, his name. What was your name, postmaster?
I don't figure that out.
Yeah. You should, though. It's professional. What's your postmaster's name?
James.
James what?
I don't know his last name, do you?
You don't know his last name? You're not withholding it from me, are you?
No, I don't know.
It's... Thank you. Survey?
Yeah.
Does this survey go for you on your cash register?
I think so.
It goes directly for you?
Yeah.
Okay,
I don't
because you've
really
been great.
know How they work.
No, you... Well, I hope it... I'll find out.
Okay.
Yeah, well, it says clerk number 5. You clerk
Yeah,
number 5?
I am clerk number
Then it
5.
goes right to you then. All right, yeah, I'll give you a good survey.
Thank you.
Yeah, you've been great. Your postmaster? Not so much. Hey, James.
What's up?
What's your last name, bud?
You can look it up.
I can't look it up. It's public record, but I do need to file a complaint on you.
Why are you filing a complaint on me?
What do you mean? Because you blew smoke up, then you called the police on me for absolutely no reason.
Well, you're out in the back. And
I
you're
don't
starting
care.
to
You
harass.
heard the cop, and I didn't harass anybody.
Okay, that's what my job is. My employee complained that
Yeah.
he was being harassed.
Okay.
So that's my job.
Okay. And I
Okay.
complained to you that he wasn't working.
Oh,
And as soon as I went over there,
Well, but you went around about it the wrong way.
what do you mean?
You
I
should've
was
came
trying
up
to tell
here
you.
instead of going around back.
No, that's how I caught him not working.
Well, okay, that's.
Do you not have an issue with that? Do you just allow you?
My employees do a very good job.
Yeah.
I
Have you
don't have a
seen?
problem with it.
Have you seen your reviews?
Yeah, I see my reviews.
Yeah, they.
Yeah, but that's.
What's that tell you?
But when is there a good review?
What do you mean? I leave good reviews all the time. Actually, I'm going to do a survey for Courtney, who is great, by the
awesome.
way. Yeah, she is. But
But Google and Yelp reviews, normally they're 85 to 90% bad.
yeah,
Because you know that
Really?
most reviews aren't good. People don't give good reviews,
Well,
unfortunately.
sometimes they do.
You know?
But you
Sometimes
should look.
They do, but you just said it. Sometimes they do.
Yeah, sometimes they do.
Most reviews, unfortunately, are bad.
Well, maybe there's a reason for that.
But that's everywhere. That's not
It's
just
everywhere.
Here.
It's not just here.
Yeah, I think so.
So why am I here?
I don't know. I have no
think
idea
you
why
know
you're
now.
here. I have no idea why you're here.
To expose you and your employees that
Okay.
are not working.
Okay, we're not working. That's your.
And you're okay with that. It's not my opinion. It's facts. I caught you out back. I caught them out back.
All right.
And then one of them flipped me off. You think that's okay?
No, that's not okay. And I'll take care of that on the private.
Will you
matter.
really?
Yeah. I'll take
You
care
know,
of that
I
private
don't
matter.
believe you will.
Well, that's.
You haven't asked who it was.
That's privacy here, where we take care of all discipline in house.
Yeah.
And that's not public knowledge.
Okay. All right. Well, there's going to be 2 complaints, one on you and one on him.
Okay.
So I think it might be a conflict of interest at this point.
Okay.
Yeah. So what's your last name?
My last name, you can look it up.
I can look it up.
Yeah.
Okay, I'll find it.
Okay, I know
All right.
you will.
I know.
It's public record.
Okay.
You can look it up.
All right. You got an email? You got a business card?
I do not have a business.
You don't have a business
No,
card?
I don't.
Okay.
I ran out.
Do you have an email?
I do.
Can I have your email?
Sure.
So I can send you the video?
Sure.
Okay. Yeah, if you can write it down. You want me to write it down?
You picking up?
Yes.
That
His
email
last
goes
name is
directly
going to
to
be
you?
part of the
It goes
email.
directly to me.
Okay.
No one else.
Yeah. I'll send you a clip.
What a dumbass.
Thank you very much.
And you're gonna get my last name with this anyway, so.
You
I was
just
gonna get
realized.
regardless.
I know.
Who's that? Oh, okay. At USPS.gov?
Yep.
Okay. All right. Well, enjoy the phone calls and emails, bud.
That's fine.
Bye, James.
I go, don't you agree with me? He goes, yeah, son. I go, what you said? I go, yeah, some. I go, but most people review because they get a bad service. I go, you don't have many bad reviews here.
I didn't come here for your bad reviews, buddy. I hear everything you're saying.
I hear everything you're saying.
Good job.
Just don't talk to my boys, that's all.
Yeah, you should probably tell him to get back to work.
That's my job.
Yeah, well, now it's mine.
Okay. Post office is hiring if you want to apply.
No, I'm good.
Okay.
I don't want to work for a piece of like you.
All right, that's fine.
Are you the supervisor, ma'am? Ma'am, are you the supervisor? You guys already screwed up, so it's all right. That's why I'm still back here. How you like that? All right, everybody. So that's going to be it over here today in Belchertown, Massachusetts, at the United States Post Office. Went fairly okay inside. As soon as I got in there, the postmaster approached me and asked me what I was doing. Thought I was a secret shopper. That's hilarious. And then saw the badge on me and was wondering what it said. I went out back, caught a couple employees not working, shooting the shit, and I called them out on it. And then all of a sudden, you know, the postmaster came out barking orders, telling me I can't be out there. Just blowing smoke up my ass like usual. And the sign obviously said postal parking only. And I already knew what it said. It didn't say anything about trespassing. So the Belchertown Police Department in Massachusetts here, Officer Jablonski, came very professional. They don't have body cams. That's okay, but they're working on it. He said that he was kind of excited of getting him in for transparency purposes, obviously. Really respectful guy, professional. Nothing bad to say about him, except he did say unfortunate, and then he did correct himself, so kudos to him. Very honorable guy. Told the postmaster that, you know, it's fair game that I'm allowed to be out back. So that's going to be it over here today. I appreciate all your support. Please make sure you like, share, and subscribe to my channel at Press NH Now. Also, check out my playlist to see some videos you might not have seen in the past. Hit that like button, let all your friends and family know about my activism in and around the New England states. Always check your description. All links will be included. Donations are greatly appreciated. They do help me continue my activism in and around the New England states. We're going to end it off here. Till the next one. Press NH Now. Peace.
Peace.
There are only a few bad apples spoiling things for the rest of the boys in blue. The vast majority of these people are heroes. They're out there doing the things that need to be done to keep us safe as a bug in a rug. So anytime you hear about them abusing their power, trampling our rights, and even killing us, it's rare. Hardly ever happens. There are plenty of good cops out there who would never harm us in any way. Honest. Cops are a special breed. You see those badges and uniforms? Well, they grant them special rights that none of the rest of us frankly have. Besides, without cops, beside the point, this guy is a hero. And none of the guys who helped him in his irresponsible and potentially deadly act are bad apples by any stretch of the imagination. Without all the good cops out there, who would brutalize, torment, cage, and mock 73-year-old Karen Garner like Loveland cops Austin Hopp, Daria Jalali, and Sergeant Metzger did? Of course the city had to shell out $3 million for the settlement. It's the darndest thing. Good cops cost their cities a lot of money, but they're still good.
Yeah, but when you're
without all
working,
those bad apples out there,
it's unprofessional.
how would NYPD cop Daniel Pantaleo choke Eric Gardner to death for selling cigarettes? I mean, cigarettes will kill you. We kind of owe the New York Police Department a debt of gratitude on this one. Without superhero cops protecting our right to be secure in our own homes, how would Dallas officer Amber Geiger ever be able to murder Botham John sitting on his couch in his own apartment eating ice cream? Without the boys in blue like Glendale, Arizona officer Matthew Schneider being highlighted as a shining example of bravery on shows like Live PD, who would lie about a blinker violation, tase an innocent Johnny Wheatcroft 11 times, pull down his shorts and tase him in the private parts in front of his screaming kids, and then have his department hide the body cam evidence from the public for 2 years? And because the Glendale Police Department is just crawling with good apples, Officer Schneider was approved by the city of Glendale to receive money from an accidental disability claim, which secured his pension and all of his benefits. Here's what Matthew Schneider said during his criminal hearing.
Your Honor, I am standing before the court today as something in a million years that I would have never dreamed I'd be, a convicted criminal. As you know, I come from a law enforcement family. It's hard to describe the shame I felt telling the people who raised me and were excellent role models that I'd be pleading guilty today. It was even harder when I had to tell my kids.
Yeah, they
I
could.
accept full responsibility for my actions on July 26, 2017. I tried to do my absolute best as a police
That absolutely could have been on break, and suddenly the break ended when they saw the camera.
officer and a human being that day, and it wasn't good enough.
Hey, get in front of the car right now. Get in front of the car. Come on, you're all right.
And of course, because there are fewer bad judges than there are bad cops, this good judge had this to say about Officer Schneider.
You've suffered for the last 5.5 years the consequences of what happened. Your family has suffered the consequences of what happened.
You want it again? Shut your mouth! I'm done around with you!
As you picked yourself up, you found something else, and you're now excelling at that. So I would see no purpose whatsoever to put you on probation. I see what's happened in the last 5.5 years and the loss of your career as a very severe punishment that's already happened to you.
There's just a whole bunch of goodness swimming around in the good apple barrel of the wholesome justice system over there in Glendale, Arizona. Johnny Hurley was lucky enough to encounter all the good cops in Arvada, Colorado. See, Johnny, with no police training and with a gun in hand, took it upon himself to neutralize a man who intended to murder a whole slew of Arvada cops. Johnny stopped the man cold and took his AR-15 away from him, only to be pierced with the good cop bullets coming out of the barrels of the guns held by the good cops of Arvada who ran and hid while Johnny did their work for them. And of course, since all good cops deserve qualified immunity, the community in Arvada had to foot the bill of a couple $1 million in settlement fees. So rest in peace, Johnny. All the good cops out there, thank you for your service. Dennis Tuttle and Regina Nicholas know firsthand all the good these good cops can do when they had their home raided by the Houston Police Department after a swatting call was placed by their next door neighbor who lied about everything. Dennis, Regina, and their dog were all shot dead, and all the good cops on the scene didn't record any of it on their body cams. 49-year-old Ronald Green was killed after being arrested by Louisiana State Police following a high-speed chase outside Monroe. During the arrest, he was stunned, punched, pepper sprayed, and placed in a chokehold. He was also dragged face down while handcuffed in shackles, and he was left face down for at least 9 minutes. Ronald obviously died, and at least 6 state troopers were involved in the arrest. 5 were criminally charged in December of 2022. When Green's corpse was brought to the hospital, police told doctors that his car had run into a tree, a story that doctors said didn't add up, given the nature of Green's injuries and the fact that there were 2 stun gun probes lodged in his body. Police later acknowledged that Green had died during a struggle, but didn't mention specifics about any use of force by officers. 25-year-old Chase Allen was murdered by 5 Farmington, Utah cops for not having a driver's license. None of the officers were charged. So if you want to live, don't drive without a proper plate or driver's license in Farmington, or you may be the next victim of all the good cops down there. 32-year-old Philando Castile was murdered by St. Anthony, Minnesota officer Geronimo Yanez during a traffic stop when Castile was attempting to pull out his concealed carry permit. The lawsuit resulted in a $3.8 million settlement for the city. Pest control specialist Daniel Shaver was murdered by Mesa cop Philip Brailsford, who was later acquitted. That cost Mesa $1.5 million. Homeless man Kelly Thomas was beaten to death by 6 Fullerton, California cops, while homeless man James Boyd was shot to death by Albuquerque police officers Sandy and Perez for camping on a mountain. Seriously injured crash victim Jordan Rivero was tortured and tased by Monroe County Deputy Dylan Hansen. And without all the good cops out there who would terrorize a family for trying to save a pet. William Albrecht and his grief-stricken family were held at gunpoint by Bernalillo County, New Mexico cop Jeremy Navarez while they were frantically trying to get their dying dog Stella to the vet. And without Deputy Shane Day, badge number 5345 of the Riverside County Sheriff's Department, who would body slam a trained police dog and hit it in the face for no reason. By the way, if you or I did that, we'd be thrown in jail for assaulting a police officer. And this guy, Shane Day, had the audacity to assault a superior officer. Let's face it, dogs rule and cops want to rule while they actually drool. And without good cops, how could we ever have a Memphis jump out Scorpion crew? The good cop crew who stopped 29-year-old Tyree Nichols without probable cause, then tortured him by punching him, kicking him, beating him with a baton, and pepper spraying him. Even when the medics arrived on the scene, they failed to administer care for 16 minutes. Obviously, Tyree didn't make it through the ordeal. And we've got people like Loveland, Colorado Police Department officer Dylan Miller, who was accused of sexually assaulting a teen while in uniform. The Florence, Colorado Police Department had no problem abusing and caging a woman for 17 days for buying goat milk. The list of all these good cops doing heinous things to people they're supposed to be protecting and serving seems infinite. But to keep this video short, we'll end with one more. Reportedly, 376 law enforcement officers descended upon a school in Texas where a mass shooting was in progress. For 77 minutes, nearly 400 cops did absolutely nothing while the shooter was inside the school picking kids off. With all the talk about all the officers that are out there putting their lives on the line to protect us every single day, you'd think that a good 90, maybe even 95% of these cops would have rushed in to save all those kids. That means about 338 of them would have refused to stay in safety outside the school and would have put their lives on the line to save all those kids. But guess what? Not one of them did. So tell me again about all those good cops out there. Leave your thoughts about this for the world and the global thought police in the comment section below. If you haven't done so already, subscribe to
Once again, to Leto's Law. Here's Steve Leto.
Once in a while, we hear about one of those stories where you think, well, that's the end of that story. And no, it gets worse. And then it gets worse. And you ask yourself, wait, that story, how did it get worse? Well, I did this story a while back about the woman in Atlanta who came back from vacation to discover that a home she owned was destroyed. It was demolished. And it turns out that mistakes were made. Now, it was not her primary residence. So that's one part of the story that we have to be clear about. She owned another house, and the house was boarded up, but she says that she kept the yard clean. It was neat. It was not in violation of anything. And somebody came by, and they were supposed to demolish a house, but apparently they got the wrong address. And so she got, I believe, a phone call from somebody who said, hey, did you know that your house is being knocked down right now? And so she went over there, and to unravel the story, she discovered that, again, it was a demolition crew that had simply gotten the wrong house. So you ask yourself, well, how could that get worse, Steve? I mean, the house got demolished. I mean, come on. A lot of people sent me the story from Fox 5 Atlanta. Atlanta, the city, threatens citations for a woman who found her home was demolished during vacation. So they've come by and they put up some of those hate mail notices they give you where they say you're about to get in trouble unless you straighten something out. And they slapped those on the site where her home was demolished, saying she better hurry up and clean up that mess or she's in trouble. Eric Perry wrote this, and the Atlanta woman who came home from vacation to find an older home on her property was demolished without her permission is now facing new legal trouble. The TV station first reported that the woman found her home demolished accidentally by a construction company back in October. So she recently visited the property and found a notice from the city of Atlanta threatening to issue citations because of the mess and for not filing the proper permits for the demolition in the first place. See, it turns out you need to get permits to demolish something. So her home got demolished and she never pulled the permits. So there's a violation. And then to leave the demolition in this half-finished state because the demolition crew, when they realized they were at the wrong place, just got up and left. And they left behind the half-demoed house, which, of course, is a nightmare. So she found that notice, and she said, anybody I can think of, I've just been reaching out to. Everyone wants to play ball, but nobody wants to show up. She says the company that tore down the home claimed they had the wrong address, which very well could be true. That doesn't mean it's not their job to clean this up. The story made headlines across the country, and some criticized her because the house was older and was, in fact, boarded up. But the house was structurally sound, apparently, and it was legal the way it was. And I've seen homes that have been boarded up because no one's there and they wanted to secure the house that later got restored and people lived there. And that's something that you hope to do. And so if there's a house with nobody living in it and it becomes obvious and the windows aren't boarded up, then people smash the windows out. And that's worse, trust me. So she says, I get what they're saying. I get that the house is boarded up and people probably would love to have it down. That's fine. But he didn't have permission to do it. That's the problem, referring to the demo crew. So now a new problem has emerged from the ruins. Usually on trash day, she says, I walk around the lot and clean up the yard, and this bright yellow sign was in the middle of my backyard. And I noticed it said, stop work order, as if she's working there. It said I had until the 16th to fix it, clean it up, and get it all done and have the proper permits. Now, by the 16th, I think she means November. I think the date had already come and gone. So she said she's been trying to get in contact with the city to get an explanation, or at least to let them know what's happening. And she said, the house was a fun place. We always had a lot of good times here. Emotions flood in as a reminder of her husband who died years ago. It does very much so because he's gone, and now this is gone. So she's stuck with a mess and a legal problem because the city now says they might come after her. She said, it's still just like, yeah, they tore it down and they did me a favor, but this is what I got. This is the favor that they gave me. Now, TV station Fox 5 reached out to the Atlanta Department of City of Planning. Officials issued the following statement. The Department of City Planning, Office of Buildings, issued a notice of correction on the property on November 2nd, with a correction end date of November 16th. That means that they notified them on the 2nd by posting on the property site. You got 2 weeks to clean this up. The correction notice affords the property owner the opportunity to bring the property into compliance. No citation has been issued to date. The structure on the property was demolished without a permit, which is a violation of city code. The property owner is responsible for their property and for any violations that occur pertaining to that property. A demolition of the property without the owner's consent or knowledge is not a matter for the city of Atlanta. This is considered a civil matter between the property owner and the alleged responsible party. The city of Atlanta says, look, we're the city. Somebody calls and said, hey, there's a big old mess on this site. There used to be a house there. House got torn down. So building inspector goes out and says, yeah, looks like a torn down building to me. They stopped halfway through for some weird reason. They slap up a notice saying you got to finish cleaning up this mess. And oh, by the way, you didn't pull a permit in the first place. Now, a lot of people are going to say, but Steve, it would be unfair to say that she's got to pull the permit, that she's got to do this, and et cetera, et cetera. Well, unfortunately, that's sort of how it works. Now, in a perfect world, the people who came out and did the partial demo would contact her and say, look, we made a huge mistake. Can we at least try to make some of it better by cleaning up what's left of it, doing the rest? because otherwise, she can hire someone to finish it and then sue the people who did the unauthorized demo to get her money back. And now, either way, she's out of house. But guess what? She can sue the demo people for that too. And so I'm a little surprised because there's no mentions here of her taking any legal action. And every attorney who hears this story goes, oh, this sounds like a law school exam. And I would start writing immediately all the people who I'm going to sue and for what. But the bulk of it is, yeah, you go find that builder who was demoing the house and you sue them. Now, here's the thing. If you're aware of how all this stuff works, to build a home, a bunch of permits. To tear a building down, a bunch of permits. You got to get a demolition permit to tear a house down. And it makes sense if you think about it, because a house, for instance, will have water lines running into it, sewer lines running out of it, and then possibly gas lines, right, electricity and so on. And so if you have people who don't know what they're doing, just go in and knock a house down, things catch fire, things explode, that kind of thing. And so it's got to be done by somebody who knows what they're doing. And so the city will say, you got to pull a permit to let us know you're going to do it. They might come by and watch, but they'll certainly come by and check up on the work after the fact. And so to get a permit to do that, depending on where you are, might require that you have some qualifications to do what you're asking to do. So if you walk into the building department to get a demo permit, which seems ironic, they might actually ask, oh, are you a company that does this? And it might be that you've got to be licensed. And it might be that you've got to be bonded or insured. And I'm curious to know if the company that came out and did the unauthorized partial demo, whether they were licensed, bonded, and or insured. Because if they are, that's a pretty straightforward lawsuit. Because if this guy's defense is, I got the wrong address, that's not a defense. That just shows it wasn't done maliciously. But it's still wrong. So I'm very, very sympathetic for the woman and the situation she's in. It's through no fault of her own. But the problem is, from the city's viewpoint, they're like, hey, look, there's this property that you own. It's a mess. Clean it up. And so, unfortunately, I am not in Georgia. But this is the kind of thing where I would guess an attorney could get involved in pretty quickly. And the real question you need to ask is the demo company still in existence, and are they collectible? So unfortunately, depending on what state you're in, some of these things aren't licensed that carefully, and it ain't that hard to set up an LLC and create a little shell that operates for a little while. And then when you screw up something that's going to hurt your bottom line, you very quickly yank the plug on the LLC and run away, and you start another one. And so I don't know what the situation is in Georgia or specifically in Atlanta, whether or not that can happen. But unfortunately, I know from 32 years of practicing law, and also I used to handle cases against builders, and I sued quite a few of them. And that's one of those entity groups that I described where you can get a judgment against them. It's a piece of paper. And a piece of paper ain't going to help this woman. But like I said, I'm kind of surprised that there's no reference at all to any legal actions here, because it sounds like she's hoping to go out and clean it up herself, but that's not going to work, at least on the timeline that the city of Atlanta wants to see. So it's a horrible story, but she went out of town. When she came back, a home she owned was demolished partially. Wasn't her primary residence, so that's at least the one bright lining here. And then now the city's saying that building you didn't pull a permit for to demolish, we need you to finish the demolition or we're going to start fining you and so on. Because the last thing I need to mention here is that quite often the cities, the municipalities, or whoever's in charge will look at a situation like this and say, okay, we gave you the warning, you ignored the warning, you didn't clean it up, we're going to clean it up at our cost and hand you the bill. And trust me, that's the most expensive option here. So if the guy who started the job finished it, that would actually be the cheapest way out for her. If she hires someone to finish it, well, that'll cost her some money. But if the city finishes it, that's going to cost her a lot of money. And also there might be court appearances in there because it might involve citations and civil infractions and things of that nature. So unbelievable story out of Atlanta. Atlanta threatens citations for a woman who found her home was demolished during a vacation. Eric Perry wrote that for Fox 5 Atlanta, and a lot of people sent it to me. Thanks a lot. Questions or comments, put them below. Let's talk to you later. Bye-bye.
Thank you for watching Leto's Law. If truth is beauty, how come no one has their hair done in the library?
Probably be it, guys. I'll be back on later. Be back on later. We'll go from there. Okay. See you guys. If I'm not able to do it from the plant tonight, I'm definitely going to do it 11:30 tonight. So. Yeah, he does. Oops. Video file. Oops, what's that? Insurance canceled. Shared. Yeah. All right, y'all. Peace.
I see her rolling up, Uber black Cadillac, high heel boots and a sexy body full of tats. Baby's bad, oh baby's hella bad. After her there ain't no coming back. Wanna take a run at that. I think she's feeling me, turn it up a few degrees. My imagination of her body gets the best of me. Oh gosh, she's such a tease, bitten lips, bruised knees. I'm addicted to her, need her touching me, cause she got a bad little waist. And we tearing down this place, off the liquor that we chase. Got some egos to the face, baby, I don't need no space. Coming closer for a taste, and I'll show you how I make everything just fade away. Cause she's like sex, drugs, cocaine, body so insane. Jealous of the clothing that she wears up on that tight frame. All game, no shame, baby came here to play. I feel like an addict cause she's sex, drugs, cocaine. Got a fine little body and her mind's kinda naughty. They say that once you taste it, you cannot replace it. She could get you high, all the dopamine inside triggers fast once she's naked. Her body's a creation. They say the devil made her for his entertainment, but even he couldn't learn how to contain it. Her high heels make a damn good statement. There is no replacement, a body by Satan. Cause she got a bad little waist, and we tearing down this place. Off the liquor that we chase, got some egos to the face. Baby, I don't need no space. Coming closer for a taste, and I'll show you how I make everything just fade away. Cause she's like sex, drugs, cocaine, body so insane. Jealous of the clothing